In today's video, I'm finally getting around to playing the Emeritus of Conflict in Standard Best of One. This card is a new one from Secrets of Strixhaven that has gone wholly underappreciated since it released. In fact, nobody's playing it whatsoever. But I'm going to try to change that a little bit today and prove that the Emeritus of Conflict has some potential. It is a 2/2 for 2 human wizard with first strike, and it says whenever you cast your third spell each turn, this creature becomes prepared. Its prepared spell is the legendary spell Lightning Bolt, 1 CMC, instant speed spell, 3 damage to any target. So the goal of this video is to cast Lightning Bolt as many times as humanly possible. The rest of the deck is made up of a bunch of typical, what you would expect, red cards in the format. We got 4 copies of Emberheart Challenger, 4 copies of Higher Claw, and a one of fun of Kellen, Planar Trailblazer, a pretty good card overall, but it's just a card that's filling the slot of the 13th creature because I was feeling like 12 creatures were a little bit light, 13 creatures ever so slightly less light. And the reason I want more creatures is because I am playing 4 copies of Might of the Meek and 3 copies of Ancestral Anger. Both of these cards want a creature on the field to take full advantage of, and if we can't hold one of these creatures on the field, it's going to feel kind of bad. So that's one little concern I have about the deck. We'll see how it actually plays out in practice. The rest of the cards are going to be direct damage spells. We have Bolt Wave, Burst Lightning, and Shock, and finally in the 2 CMC slot, Lightning Strike. The goal of the deck, of course, is to cast as many spells as possible because we need to cast 3 spells to prepare the Emeritus of Conflict. So we want to have a bunch of 1 CMC things that we can do. We're also playing 4 copies of the new Flashback because this is a great way to get a couple of extra spells cast per turn. So that's the goal of the deck. Let me know down in the comments whether or not you think I'm going to be able to pull off the Lightning Bolt Dream and throw some spells at our opponent's faces to end games, or if you think this one is going to be a complete bust. Anyways, whatever happens, happens. We're going to jump into some games and see how it all plays out. See you over there. All right, a lot of hopes and dreams going on with this deck. We're going to see if Lightning Bolt can actually happen in Standard. We got all of our creatures. Remember what I said? I was afraid that our creature situation was not going to be good enough. Let's put out Kellen. And of course, we end up drawing 5 of our 13 creatures in the top 7 cards. That totally makes sense. Very wonderfully balanced game. If we end up finding the 3rd land, maybe we can get this Emeritus prepared. I don't think that's going to be the case. But next turn, if Kellen survives, maybe they're more afraid of the Emeritus that I have on the field. They're going to leave Kellen alone and just kill the Emeritus of Conflict. Then I can level up the Kellen here and dig for a land. We don't hit the land, so I do think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put him up to level 2. So Kellen now, whenever he attacks the opponent or does damage to the opponent, we get to exile the top card of our library. And if it is a... well, what am I saying? If we get to play it until the end of turn. That's what I want to say. So it was a land, and we got to play it out. Fantastic. Next turn, if I want to dump some mana into Kellen, I can definitely do that. If I find a land off the top, though, we can actually go... no, I guess we can't really do what I was going to think. Okay, well, we can still get our Emeritus of Conflict prepared, and Kellen can still find us the 4th land. So let's put that out. Let's attack in for 7 damage. And if we end up peeling a land off the top, we win. Kellen. Oh boy, isn't this a good way to start the video? We get to turn on the Emeritus of Conflict. We get to fire off a lightning bolt to end the game. And this is what dreams are made of. I don't think the opponent has anything that they can do. They can make a ooze or a mutagen with the ooze, but we get the lightning bolt kill. Emeritus of Conflict viable in Standard. Look at that. We're living the dream. Want to bet that that's not going to happen a single more time in this next set of 9 games? Fingers crossed. So the reason I wanted to play this deck today was because I am running on fumes right now. I wanted to record something, but I'm a little beat. Today was a busy day. Woke up, got on the bike, decided I wanted to ride out to an area, a mountain area, I like this. Not quite as beautiful, but quite nice. I wanted to ride out there. It was a new area I had never explored before, but it ended up being about a little bit more than 50-kilometer bike ride. That was good. Thankfully, the sun wasn't too oppressive today, so I didn't get too badly sunburned or, you know. And some of these days, the sun is so strong that after you go out for that ride, you get back and you're like, whew, you're just completely drained. Sleight of hand from the opponent. So the opponent's probably going to have Burst Lightning for our poor Higher Claw. Hopefully it survives and we can pump it up one time. Putting it up to 2-3 will really make it a lot more difficult to deal with. And the opponent has, unfortunately, the Slickshot Show-Off. So now I can't really put it up to a 2-3 because I need these Burst Lightnings to kill the... I need to kill this. I can't let a Slickshot Show-Off. They could actually literally just kill me next turn with the Slickshot Show-Off. I don't think with the blue source, probably not anymore. But yeah, anyways, it was a good ride. And then I got back and I had to go buy some vegetables for the week. So went out for a much longer walk and walked over to a market that was selling cucumbers and that. Unfortunately, closed. Yeah. So that sucked. But yeah, it is what it is. Sometimes it happens. In the end, though, I'm drained of energy. That's what I'm saying. Oh, they try to return it. So we're going to throw away both of our Burst Lightnings on this. Get it off the field. Seems a little wasteful, but that's what we're doing. I hate to do this, too, because whatever I get from this Ancestral Anger is going to go into waste. It's going to be exiled forever. That Bolt Wave, it would have been nice to get, but we still get 4 damage in on the opponent. And we do put an Ancestral Anger into the bin. So next turn, if they use all of their mana and don't kill the Emberheart Challenger, man. What are the chances that this Emberheart Challenger survives? Pretty low, right? But I don't think I have much of a choice. In the situation that I'm in, I have to cast this. Hopefully they just have like a Burst Lightning. Nothing? Okay. All right. Let's get in for 5 damage if they... Aww. Of course. It's crazy. Just with 3... I guess they have 4 mana. Yeah. Okay. So we'll put out the Emeritus of Conflict, and if we end up finding... I mean, I don't know what miracle I would need off the top. And nothing really. With 2 Lightning Strikes in hand, can't really prepare and cast the Lightning Bolt no matter what. Boomerang Basic, interesting choice. Very interesting. And they go in on me. They're empty-handed. I really wish I had found something there. But what we are going to do is we're going to kill Slickshot. I don't think I can allow the Slickshot Show-Off to survive. Maybe some of you will say that I should have put that 3 damage up top. They are top decking. The thing is, they are a blue deck, so they could possibly draw into draw spells, and they could have chained together a whole lot of damage against us. Emeritus of Conflict again. So the good news is we now have 2 prepared Emerituses of Conflict. So now we just need them not to kill us. And so, do I hold back my Emberheart Challenger? Yes. No attack. Emberheart Challenger is going to go under the crab if it has to. They dig for something. Opt is really good. Put it to the bottom. Put it to the bottom. To the top. They found a good card. Is it going to be a Sunderflock? Oh, that's not. That's fine. We win. We win. This is so many spells that we're casting. Are we BMing? We're BMing. No, opponent! Come on. So I could have thrown the Burst Lightning at the Otter, and then they would have triggered it again. We would have had 2 more Burst Lightnings. Ah, too bad. GG, nasty one. So it's kind of working. However, if you've made it to this point in the video and you're like, oh my god, Emeritus of Conflict is great, I'm gonna go craft this, please, I urge you, stick around until the end of this video. I don't think my positivity about the Emeritus of Conflict is going to continue throughout this entire set of games, and by the end I'm gonna be like, this card, not great, it's not good enough. That's my prediction for it. It's a fun card, it's interesting, but I don't think it's there. All right, they got their Emberheart Challenger. They went first, so the situation is not great. Now, I suppose it's probably best just to kill their Emberheart Challenger while they are tapped down, and then next turn we can put out our Emberheart Challenger and maybe cast one of these on it. Wow, that's interesting. You'll love to see it. Now, do they have a burst lightning? And I think probably they do have a burst lightning. I'm just gonna challenge if they want to trade the Callous Sword for my Emberheart Challenger. I'm kind of okay with that. No. Yeah, that's kind of. I didn't want to jump the gun on the Might of the Meat. I would rather them try to do that. They already passed through blockers. We put a mountain into exile, which was fantastic. We didn't need that mountain. We do already have 4. And they cast a Callous Sword. It's bad news. When you're casting Callous Swords, it's bad news. The opponent, what did they have in their hand? Unbelievable. We are now 3-0 with this deck, and maybe there's not something to it. I still don't I don't believe in it. Playing mythic level players now. We are struggling to find opponents apparently. This hand, I don't know. Oh man, we get to go second. We have the Emeritus, and we have ways of pumping and drawing, but we need the Emeritus of Conflict to survive. It's so bad, right? So if they're on a mono green strategy, they are going to go first and destroy us. If they are on a red strategy, they kill our Emeritus. I don't think so. I think you throw that away. It's much worse. It's so much worse. Do I have to just try to keep it though and hope that I find a third land off the top? It's such a... I can't go down to 5 though. Get rid of the flashback. Maybe I should have kept the first hand. What are you on, opponent? They are on Selesnya. But it's... Oh, I put you to the bottom of my library. Why did you come back? Flashback, we don't want you here. The next one's got to be a mountain. If it's not a mountain off the top, we're really in trouble. Okay, so we're still in this. We're still in this. Emeritus of Conflicts hits the field. Biblioplex. Apparently I called this a bibliotech at some point, but it's a biblioplex. They probably have a lightning helix for our Emeritus of Conflict because the opponent is playing whatever colors they want to cease. What is going on? Cease, desist. They gain 2 life, draw a card, get rid of our Bolt Wave, making our flashback even more useless. We miss on the land. They have a way of killing the Emeritus, yeah. So we can't cast the Might of the Meek yet. I think they're sitting on a Lightning Helix. That's my vibe. They have white mana here, red mana here, right? Pay 1 life. They can do anything, yeah. Okay. Second Emeritus to the field. We'll see what happens. At least we got 2 damage in. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what those opponents' lands mean. I don't know what a deceased desist means. They're 575. They're clearly on something strong enough, unless they got up to Mythic and they're like, I'm gonna put together something neat. Sure. Okay, so now I kind of have a moment to draw a bunch of cards. Maybe I still need a land though. No, we needed a 3rd land last turn instead of the 3rd Emeritus. Wait, Might of the Meek, we're definitely going to be doing that this turn to draw the land. There we go. So we can prepare our Emerituses. Is it better to do the flashback Might of the Meek to draw another card. And I kind of feel like maybe set myself up for possibly being able to fire off a whole bunch of spells in the following turn. Flashback again. Okay, the opponent down to 12. We have 2 online Emeritus of Conflict. If they spend another turn doing not a whole lot, which is asking a whole lot, I understand that, but you never know. 2026 Magic sometimes brings a lot of surprises to the field. People doing weird stuff sometimes. Deadly cover-ups pretty good. All right. So our plans are ruined, and they're going to take our Emerituses. Seems like... Is that what it was? They took the Flashback? That's right? That's what they took? Interesting. Yeah, sure. Go for it. So we draw Kellen. Kellen's okay. Still, no land. Crazy that our deck is really refusing to cooperate right now. So we're going to put out these 2 things and pray that they sit on the field. But the opponent could very well have another deadly cover-up. This deck that they're playing is probably very, very much out here hunting Badger Mole Cubs. Just board wipe, ramp, interaction. No, Jeskai Revelation. I hate. Name a card that is more obnoxious. I'll wait. It doesn't exist, and we didn't find a land. Like, we're never gonna get there when they're gaining. They gain life. Yeah, they just gain 4 life because why not? All right, GG opponent. That is an obnoxious deck. I do not like that. That ramp into board wipes is a strategy. As a bit of a talking point, how do y'all feel about ramp these days? I had a situation the other day where I was testing out a deck. I was just messing around with some friends on Discord, and the opponent that I was going up against had spent the first few turns ramping, and they had ramped so well that they had more than double my mana. But because of the nature of ramp these days, they didn't only have just double my mana, they also had a tremendous amount of power still on the field. Like, they were able to still, you know, they put out the vehicle that gets land, so they have this like 8 power attacker. I can't remember how they were ramping exactly, but I remember saying to my friend, like, this sucks. Like, this is too much. It's too much. It's not fun. What is going on with ramp and standard? Why is it so out of control? And it certainly feels that way. And I know I've listened to podcasts about. I think I'm gonna. Do we do Emeritus of Conflict and hope that I can cast spells in the future, or do I try to draw a spell here? I think I'm gonna put out the Emeritus actually. I know a lot of people kind of complain about EDH ramp and, you know, green being the best color in EDH. It seems like if you're not ramping, then really what are you doing in a lot of cases, especially in more casual EDH where, you know, combos are very much discouraged. Land destruction is very much discouraged. So, yeah, the situation is just so weird with ramp. It's gotten so good that, yeah, I just don't really know how to feel about it anymore. It's a little bit overbearing. Apparently I set a timer on my watch by accident. Okay, the opponent throwing 2 creatures underneath this attack, which means they probably have a Rise from the Past. What is that card called? Like, they're gonna reanimate their graveyard, which is fine. Because if they spend their next turn doing that, then we can probably just kill them. Because we now have an Emeritus of Conflict that is online, and we're sitting there with a Flashback. Flashback is actually kind of huge in this situation. So next turn we can do 9, as long as the Emeritus of Conflict stays on the field, we can do 9 points of damage. Even if they kill the Emeritus of Conflict, though, we still get the Bolt Wave Flashback plus the attack from Higher Claw. So I feel like we are in a pretty good situation. I don't really think Raise from the Past? Play it so I know what the name of the card is. I think it's Raise from the Past, right? Dang. You're gonna leave me hanging like that? I don't know what the card's called. Anyways, rant about ramp. How do y'all feel about ramp? Is it too much these days? Has Wizards of the Coast pushed the boundaries of what ramp is too much and put it into a tier that's beyond everything else? Like, if you're not ramping, what are you doing? Or is it not as bad as I'm making it out to be? Or yeah, I don't know. I really wonder where people are sitting with ramp, because it seems like it's overbearing in a lot of different places in the game over the last couple of years. Although it's probably been going on for even longer than that, right? Waffles return. Our sixth opponent. We're going, probably will end up hitting our... I really need you. I need you to go the distance, little buddy. I think we'll probably end up doing 10 when it's we're playing a red deck, so 10 games seems to be the new standard whenever you're playing a red base deck in standard best of one. These games are so fast. I remember when I was recording videos during the dark times during COVID, I would do some best of one, and I think best of one was almost always like 7 games. It's actually, I never really thought about that, and I'm pretty sure that's where that like 7 game, either I play 3 best of 3 games or 7 games of best of one, and that was like the benchmark of how I was doing my content on MTGA. But yeah, so many of the decks nowadays, the aggro decks, 10 games, not out of the question. Maybe I just stopped playing aggro though. I think that's gonna happen. Hey, the opponent mulligans down to 6. We get the Higher Claw onto the field. No requiting Hex, please. Be a green base deck. Okay, not that green. Okay. That's fine. So the problem is, though, I probably want to kill the Paw Patch Recruit before the opponent puts another creature onto the field. And they did mulligan down. I think I'm gonna hold up the Burst Lightning and see what they end up playing out here. Frenzied Baloth, yeah. Okay, so we'll hit this. If I need to, I can always flashback the Burst Lightning to kill the Frenzied Baloth. Probably last turn I should have also put out the Bolt Wave just to be mana efficient. But maybe it's fine. We're drawing plenty of that. Do I need to kill this Frenzied Baloth? Is it really worth using all of my mana? Do I need to make that decision right now? Probably not. So maybe it's just better to wing the opponent for an extra 1 point of damage, fire off Bolt Wave, take them down to 10, and see what their turn 3 is. It's not like they're going to put down an Ouroboride here. Unfortunately, they're not taking damage. They're just going to swing for 6. Okay, we got ourselves a real pressure cooker going on here. 2 outs. I've been listening to Meatloaf. I'm pretty sure that's how that song goes. We'll take the risk. Let's go. Full ham. Oh. Full lethal. No big deal. I'm glad I did that and didn't miss it. I don't know if I could... I can't handle more of the you missed lethal comments. Actually, I can. Keep bringing them. I know I missed lethal. Tell me. I love reading about it. I also feel bad. I definitely misquoted Meatloaf. It's 2 down, no on. Nobody's on. 2 down, nobody on. Bottom of the 9th. Gonna have to re-listen to that song to make sure I burn those lyrics into my brain. But what are the chances that I'm going to be able to remember song lyrics when I can't even remember like the names of 2-word names of cards after I play them week after week after week? I don't know. So brain dead. Hey, our opponent finally showed up. Good. Did you know I could turn on the light? I was sitting here clicking on things on this map, and that was one of the ones that I've never really noticed. You can turn off the lights. I wonder if they come back on if you turn them off, though. This map is such an interesting one. I think they did oh, hey, you can turn off the TVs too? Hey. Make it all dark. I don't like that. With the lights off, it's kind of a little bit spooky. Stupid. All right, Higher Claw getting in for 1 against our Golgari opponent with the Overgrown Tomb down to 17. That's not bad. We need this Might of the Meek to do... Oh, it's a Kavaro time. Okay. Emeritus of Conflict, pretty good. So probably what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using Shock on the Town Greeter because I want to be pushing as much damage as I possibly can. I also think I'm probably going to fire off the Might of the... man. Maybe it's putting out the Emeritus of Conflict, actually. Clear the way, ding them down to 12, put out the Emeritus. They're not going to be able to remove both creatures. They can certainly remove one of them, but if they spend a turn putting down the enchantment that removes one creature, destroys a target, maybe I'm okay with that. It's not great. If they spend the turn just digging, that'll be really great. They probably have to hit the Higher Claw, though. I think the Higher Claw is a bigger threat than the Emeritus of Conflict. Okay. Formidable Speaker is good because it's a little bit annoying for me to get through, but we can. Bolt Wave is sorcery speed. They have the Bringer of the Last Gift in hand. Arden in the graveyard, so they can reanimate that next turn. If they reanimate Arden, we're kind of done because of the life gain from the creature that they'll reanimate. But I think I have to go in. So they actually just let me do this. So, Bolt Wave, so 2 damage going in. They're going down to 9. We're actually taking them down to 1, right? So, 9. And then 6. 7, 8, 6. Oh my god, what am I thinking? 4, and then I can take them down to 1. Huh. So is it better to do Might of the Meek just to draw a card? Sure. Let's just draw a card. It's a bolt. That's fine. Am I killing the Formidable Speaker? Sure. Let's just clear the way. Fire this off as well. We now have the Emeritus of Conflict online. So with the Lightning Bolt and the Lightning Strike, they're dead on board. If they can get the Arden on the field, they'll gain upwards of 5 life, go up to 11. It's gonna be real tight. All right, I don't know if that chain there was the right, correct line to go about, but it kind of worked out for us. I think, they would have had to have an untapped land. They would have had to have Kavaro, of course, to bring back the Arden. That would have worked out for them. I was asking a lot, though. Cool. So after 7 games, 6-1, not bad. And we are finding lightning bolts. We are triggering it. Oh man, if one of these Might of the Meek were a land, this would be an instant keep. It's almost a keep though. Like it's kind of, oh man, it's right there in the middle. Do you keep this one? I don't trust my luck right now. I am going to put it away. I'm going to throw away one of these lightning strikes. Just a little bit too expensive. And we're going to hope that this Kellen is going to do quite a bit. You know what? I've been a little bit impressed with old Kellen here. I think it's been doing more than I had initially expected it to do, and we are definitely going to bolt the bird, or burst the elf. I like the sound of that, burst the elf. Kind of fun. And may as well throw off the bolt wave. It's not doing anything else, so we'll just use it while we can. Badger Molcub to the field. Surprise, surprise. And unfortunately, I think... So I have the choice. I could attack in... No. Attack in, level that up. Let's see if they block. I don't think they block here in a million years. I think we just lightning strike Badger Molcub. You can never leave it on. You can't leave it on the field. It's just, it's too much of a menace. They get up to 4 mana a little bit too quickly, and once they're at 4 mana, things get much. Oh boy. Okay, things get out of control. Now, do they? There's no way they trade. There's no way they trade the Gene Pollinator for the Kellen. I'll take that all day. I'll take that. I'm so fine with that, I think. and we'll put down an Emeritus of Conflict. They missed their third land drop, like us. They put down a mana dork and they traded it off, and I'm really surprised by that. Again, we miss. That sucks, but we get to get in for 4 damage, take them down to 9. We have Bolt Wave, Flashback at the ready. So if we can draw like another Bolt Wave, we can go Bolt Wave, attack in, whatever, doesn't matter. And then Flashback, Bolt Wave on the following turn, maybe? They're gonna be chump blocking with this Paw Patch Recruit. Or they're going to die? What a derpy game this has been, right? This one, both players flailing at each other, 2 lands. Unfortunately, our deck operates on 2 lands a little bit better than Doc Thunder's, and taking out the Badger Mole Cub proving to be always a good choice. And look at that, a rogue mono red, praying that Lightning Bolt works in standard deck, is actually doing all right in Diamond. I'll be perfectly honest, things are going so much better, so much more smoothly than I would have imagined them to go. Can't keep this one again. One mountain's just not, it's just not good enough, and this is just so much better. Again, we'll throw away the Lightning Strike. I think it's probably overall the weakest card in the deck. I like Lightning Strike quite a bit, but 3 damage for 2 mana is just ain't it anymore. So Hired Claw plus Might of the Meek, or Hired Claw, just attack in, pump it up. Actually, I kind of like that. Get this up to a 2/3. If they are holding Burst Lightning, it's going to be a little annoying for them to get rid of now. If they're holding Lightning Helix, it's a little bit less annoying for them to deal with. But that's what's going to happen. I kind of want to do Emberheart Challenger next turn, because once I trigger the Valiant ability on the Emberheart Challenger, sure. This is good news, because this Higher Claw getting up to a 3/4 is a little bit trickier for the Biblioplex deck to take out. They can certainly kill it, but just a little bit harder. And here we'll go Emberheart Challenger. Try to put the Might of the Meek onto the Emberheart Challenger. Do you have something, opponent? Surely you do. Is it too risky? What did they have? What did you have, opponent? What, you only play Counterspell? Just took a picture of my keyboard. I think I'm gonna tear it apart during the baseball game. I got baseball games on in about an hour and a half. I'm gonna sit down for that and enjoy it. My keyboard has been neglected for a little bit too long. I'm sitting here looking at it while my opponents are deciding if they want to continue on with this game or not. And hey, we're in the same situation here. Do I do the Higher Claw, pump them up? It kind of worked out for us last time against a Thundering Falls type deck. But, yeah, I think all these keys can use a little bit of a scrub down. Well, what do you think? We are against Huge Chicken, probably packing the typical Jeskai package. They got Get Lost. Get Lost is bad news for us. Okay. Boom. I was hoping it was going to be a direct damage spell. This kind of sucks because I am going to be losing one of the triggers on the Emberheart Challenger, but maybe we find something good. Bolt Wave off the top. Bolt Wave? Keep it? Okay, and the Emberheart Challenger is a 3/3. If we can get up to a 4/4, we'll be much better off, because I'm getting sick and tired of seeing this card. I'm tired of it, boys. All right, let's try to find another land off the top with the Emberheart Challenger. Never does the Emberheart Challenger disappoint. Oh, baby. What a hero. And Flashback, we do not want the Flashback. We already have one. I don't think it's ever going to be good enough. What could they have that would just destroy me? Another... They have another Get Lost, right? I don't know how greedy I want to be here. I think we just attack in for 5 here. Surely they have another... Oh, mama. All right. All right. Do your thing. So, flashback of their own puts us behind quite a bit. Is it... This is just desperate, right? For me to flashback the Bolt Wave, but it's just kind of doing something. Take them down to 11. We might be in big old trouble here because they had double answer for our 2 creatures, and they're going to have Lightning Helix to turn all of the effort that we put into this Bolt Wave against us or whatever. They're going to undo all that effort, I guess is the way to say it. We'll put down an Emeritus of Conflict. It might get no moralized. Seems to be what's happening. 3 steps ahead. Yikes. All right, pass the turn. We need to find a creature. We need to take advantage of these maps. Another Emberheart Challenger would be really good off the top. That would be the best way for us to utilize the map tokens. But they're sitting there with 4 mana. And we're sitting here with Ancestral Angers that we can't cast. A Shock that's basically useless. They're at 11 life. It's more than enough. I think we met our match, and now they are into my favorite cards range. It's the Jeskai Revelation time, so we basically can't cast anything for the rest of the game because whatever we cast is going to be bounced back to our hand or immediately destroyed, or they're just going to deal 4 damage to our face, create a couple of babies. And you know what? I would rather rip out every eyelash from my face than to sit through this card. Oh, if I could delete 1 card, maybe that's my hot take. I hate it. All right, so there is something to this Emeritus of Conflict going 8-2. That's not too bad. Running into a few rough matches for the opponents. You know, they just didn't have the interaction that they needed. But mono red decks doing mono red things. I don't necessarily know if it were was the Emeritus of Conflict doing that or making that difference. But still, we got to cast Lightning Bolt a few different times, and it kind of helped us in some games. So overall, kind of a cool card. If you ended up pulling a few of them, maybe jam it into a mono red deck with a whole bunch of 1 CMC spells and see what you can make happen. It is a whole lot of fun when you can start chaining together the lightning bolts. Unfortunately, once you get to that point and you start like firing off a lightning bolt and it goes into another lightning bolt, the game's probably just over. So it doesn't really make much of a difference. It's very much a win more card. Overall, though, I would say the typical red stuff is the real hero here. You know, Higher Claw. Well, talk about a good card, right? I'm sure there are some people out there. I'm sitting here complaining about Jeskai Revelations. I absolutely loathe that card. Everything that it stands for. I hate the type of deck that it encourages. I hate seeing it. I hate the effects that it does. Everything about it just grinds my gears. And I'm sure there's somebody out there who feels the exact same way about Higher Claw. This little lizard, though, tends to be the lizard that goes the distance. Also, I got to point out a little bit, Kellen, not bad. I might start including one of Fun-Ofs of Kellen in some of my decks because I was a little bit impressed with what old Kellen here can actually get done when it hits the field and it sticks around for a little bit. So yeah, that's this one. Let me know what you think about Emeritus of Conflict, whether or not it's a card that's worth experimenting with or if it is just not quite good enough. Love to hear some of your opinions as always. Hope you enjoyed this one. Take care for now. Sanang Ipana, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.